Olivia had always carried this quiet fear inside her, a belief that she wasn't enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough to stand beside someone like Rick. She tried to hide it behind polite smiles and lowered eyes, but Rick saw right through her walls. Instead of letting her sink into those doubts, he took her hand and led her into the early morning air, where the world was quiet enough for truth. He didn't lecture her or tell her she was wrong, he showed her. With every step, every lesson, every moment he spent training her, he helped her uncover a strength she never realized lived inside her. He pushed her just enough to grow, but never enough to break. And with every challenge she overcame, Olivia felt herself becoming someone new, someone capable, someone fierce, someone who finally believed she deserved to stand by his side, and fight for her place in his world. It all began with a simple misunderstanding, one that could have easily pushed them apart, yet somehow drew them closer. When Olivia first saw Rick with Molly, she felt that painful twist inside her chest, convinced he already had someone else in his life. The moment she confronted him, though, everything shifted. Molly laughed softly and introduced herself as Rick's sister, not his lover, instantly dissolving the tension that had been building inside Olivia. For the first time, Olivia could truly breathe. Rick's eyes softened as he looked at her, as if he had been waiting for the right moment to bridge the gap between them. And then he offered her something unexpected, an ancient amulet, the symbol of his pack, a sign of trust and belonging. Olivia hesitated, overwhelmed, yet deeply moved. Accepting it felt like stepping into a new world, one where she didn't have to stand alone. Chaos has a way of creeping in when everyone thinks the worst has already passed. After Olivia's victory, the pack should have felt united, but instead an uneasiness settled in, small signs of betrayal hidden beneath uneasy glances and half-spoken words. No one expected danger to come so soon, and definitely not from within. When Olivia was lured outside and nearly kidnapped, the shock rippled through Rick like a wildfire. The idea that someone inside his own walls had helped the rogues was more than a betrayal, it was a direct strike at everything he stood for. And just when the panic peaked, Olivia collapsed, her body trembling, breath fading. Everyone braced for the worst, thinking she'd been poisoned, attacked, or somehow harmed during the struggle. But when Molly tried to heal her and nothing worked, a different truth surfaced, one that stunned them all into silence. Olivia wasn't dying. She was carrying new life. Leah had convinced herself that Olivia's quiet nature made her weak, unfit to stand beside an alpha, unworthy of the title of Luna. And when her jealousy finally snapped, she didn't hide it behind whispers anymore, she challenged Olivia in front of everyone, her voice sharp with pride and bitterness. For a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. Olivia wasn't a fighter by nature, she wasn't raised for battles or taught to rely on brute strength. But she remembered Rick's words, the training he had given her, the confidence he had slowly lit inside her. Stepping into the circle wasn't just about defending herself, it was about proving she belonged. Blow after blow, Olivia surprised everyone, even herself. She fought with heart, with instinct, with the courage she never knew she had. And when Leah fell, the pack didn't just see a victor, they saw a Luna who had earned her place through strength, not status. But peace is fragile when old insecurities start whispering in the dark. As the Silver Moon pack settled into Rick's home, tension began to simmer beneath the surface. Skylar watched Olivia with a mixture of suspicion and envy, unable to understand how someone so gentle could earn Rick's trust so quickly. Leah, on the other hand, felt threatened in a different way. She had always believed she would one day stand beside Rick, not as an equal, but as his Luna. Seeing Olivia grow stronger, seeing Rick look at her with a softness he never showed anyone else, lit a fire of jealousy she could no longer contain. Small remarks turned into sharp exchanges, and quiet judgment turned into open hostility. Even moments meant for unity became battlegrounds of pride and resentment. And as their bitterness grew, it became clear that this wasn't just jealousy, it was the beginning of a conflict that could shatter the fragile calm holding them all together. Everything changed the night the flames rose behind the trees. The Silver Moon pack had left their home for training, only to return to charred ruins and the heavy silence of loss. The smoke still clung to their clothes as they arrived at Rick's territory, exhausted, shaken, and carrying nothing but the weight of what they'd lost. Olivia watched the fear in their eyes, the fear of having nowhere to go, of being scattered and vulnerable. Rick didn't hesitate. He opened his home, his land, and his protection to them, even though he knew it meant inviting tension and old grudges under one roof. But he made one thing crystal clear: in his pack, respect wasn't optional, it was the foundation. No matter their past, no matter the differences, everyone had to honor that rule. And in that moment of chaos and uncertainty, his leadership became their one steady light, the only shelter they could trust.